Hi, my name is Sam Vole, and today I'm going to be describing, performing, and giving you some details about the squat movement. It's a multi-jointed movement. It's going to be using almost all the muscles in your body, either concentrically or eccentrically, or asymmetrically as stabilizers or neutralizers. The squat exercise increases your force that you're able to produce from your legs. So this could be useful to implement into a basketball player, football player, or a sprinter's workout routine. For a basketball player, it increased their ability to jump for a rebound, dunk the ball, or block a shot. A football player, they would be able to jump higher to catch a pass or intercept a pass. And for a sprinter, it would increase their ability, or rather the force that they get from their legs, pushing on the ground to increase their speed and to jump off the starting line. Now, the squat movement is a vertical movement, and you need your ankles, your knees, and your hips to keep you in that vertical motion. So it's basically a pushing movement. Now, some exercises that can help you warm up for the squat, get that range of motion down, as well as activate the muscles that are involved in it. One is going to be a front squat to increase or rather warm up your hip range of motion. It may increase it as well. And then also get all those muscles that are involved in the squat warmed up and activated and firing. Another exercise is going to be the lunge. So this is going to activate your glutes, help you with that hip range of motion, and also once again activate like your rectus femoris, semitendinosus, semimembranosus, and all your calf muscles. Your third exercise is going to be a box step up. So with one leg you step up and then bring the other one up and then step down. So that's once again going to help you with your hip range of motion, your thigh muscles and leg muscles. Fourth exercise is going to be a vertically inclined leg press. Now this is going to mimic, it's almost going to be the exact same as the squat movement with the exception of you're isolating your whole upper body. So this is just going to be your lower body. It's going to isolate it to there, and it's going to help you with your hip range of motion as well as firing all those muscles involved in the squat movement. Now your fifth and final exercise is actually going to be an empty set squat. So you're just going to take an empty bar and perform the squat movement. This is not only going to help you with your hip range of motion and firing the muscles involved, but it's also going to help you practice your squat form and perfect it so that once you actually are performing the squat with weight, it'll decrease your risk injury or your risk of injury. Now, when you're preparing for the squat, I'm just going to use this bar right here as if I'm performing an empty set. The grip you're going to use is a pronated grip for both hands, a little wider than shoulder width apart. And for your feet, they're going to be a little wider than shoulder width apart as well, with your toes pointed at a 45-degree angle outward. You're going to de-rack the bar and put it on the back part of your traps, also known as your trap shelf. Now, during the eccentric phase, as you're going down, your goal is to get your thighs parallel to the ground. And once you've achieved that, you're going to go back up and complete the movement. Now, if you can't go all the way down for whatever reason, injuries, weight, whatever, just go as far as you can without pain, and then go back up. As for the breathing, during the eccentric phase, you're going to breathe in. During the concentric phase, you're going to breathe out. And finish the movement. The Valsalva maneuver can also be used, which is a breathing technique in which you will hold your breath through the sticking point, the hardest part of the movement, and then exhale at the top of the concentric phase. When you're going down during the eccentric phase, you're going to breathe out, or breathe in like I said, and then you're going to drive through your heels and push yourself up. So you want to drive through your heels. That's important because you don't want to be on your toes, which would be more apt to have you leaning forward, and you don't want to lean side to side either. That's some common mistakes that people make. So you don't want to do any of those. You want to keep in that vertical motion, going up and down. Another common mistake that people make is on their way. Once they've completed the eccentric phase, so they go down. During the concentric phase, when they're on the way up, sometimes their knees start to buckle in. Most times this is because either they haven't perfected the form or the weight is a little bit too much for them. So if you see your client doing this, a verbal cue you can use to remind them to keep their knees outward is spread the floor. So when they're on the way down, you see them coming up, so they spread the floor. This will remind them to keep their legs out and drive up and finish the movement. Another common mistake some people make is they forget to use their hips as well as their legs to push the bar upward. So they finish the eccentric phase on the way up, and then they just use their legs. Now they end up in this bent over, awkward position. So a verbal cue you can use for this is hips through, or thrust the hips. So this will remind them to, during the concentric phase, thrust the hips through and finish the movement. And that was a little bit exaggerated. You don't want them to do it that much, but it will remind them to use their hips, their lower body and upper body simultaneously to drive the bar upwards, and that way they will be in the proper form and finish the movement correctly.